Live if you're watching me on a replay, #replay. So today we're going to be talking about how to raise your fees and how to attract these amazing high-ticket clients who can afford to pay you the fees and who love working with you and who you also love. So this is a great subject, and it is such an important subject because let's look at where you are right now. So put in the comments, what is your business currently looking at? Like, are you seeing paying clients right now? And if so, are you loving those clients, or are they a little bit difficult? Are you right now at the place where you're already charging high ticket, or are you at the place when you're looking to raise your rates and you're kind of like not sure how to do that because it's scary a little bit, because you're not sure if people will purchase? Is it that maybe right now you already have lots of clients, but you are feeling that you have outgrown the type of clients you have and you want to be at the next level in your business, but you're not quite sure how to get there without breaking what you have? So let me know, what is your current experience in the comments. That would help me help you better by understanding where you are currently. So when we have an established business means that you are seeing paying clients and you're doing it to some extent consistently. Now, it might be lower level clients for lower level fees, but you are generating income from doing what you know as your work in the world. But then you want to up level to a higher fee or a higher pricing, and specific fears come up. One of the fears you might notice is something like, but if I raise my fee, what if people, would want me to add more into my program in order to justify the fee, and I'm already working too hard? So put a 1 in the comments if this is something that you have as one of the thoughts that kind of swarming around in your head. That somehow, if you are in the place of just essentially raising the fee for what you're doing because you have grown and your expertise have grown and you know it's the right step for you, but you're thinking, oh, then I need to add more in order for it to have value. Another thing might be that you have outgrown the type of program or offer that you've been promoting. So maybe you have been attracting clients to a specific container, but now that container kind of doesn't light you up anymore. And you're ready to go for the next level container for yourself. Like, you're innovated something. You came up with the idea, something, downloaded into you. You're excited about it, but then you're not sure what to do with the current people. Do you just leave them behind and you go find some other clients? What if the current ones might not be interested in what you're offering, and what to do about that? Or you might be simply at the place where in your being, like if you tune in and you see yourself able to be at that level, like you are a conscious person, you're a conscious coach or a mentor or a healer or transformation expert, and you own that you want to be bigger, like you want to change consciousness on the planet. You want to be influencing lots of people, life and how they're thinking and whatever else that you do specifically in your business. You want to be at the level where maybe you're invited for interviews. Maybe you're presenting something on stages all over the world. Maybe you see yourself on as like your book on the shelf, that you wrote a book at some point, and so on. Like, do you see that level for yourself? But then when you look at your current life, you're like, okay, with what I'm charging, like maybe you're charging $1,000 or something for a specific offer, and you're like, I don't know how to ever get from this thing that I have right now to this next level. So we're talking about how to raise your fees and attract high ticket clients, but do so in integrity and in a way that actually feels right. So when you are at the place when you're noticing that, okay, what I have right now isn't fitting me anymore, I've outgrown that, something is missing. Maybe you're worth more because you're giving so much and your clients have results, and yet you're still charging the price from 2 years ago. And you're realizing it should be higher, but you're scared. You're just simply scared to change the number because of the current clients you have. Or maybe you're at the place where your offer needs to change because you have outgrown the offer, because, we're all people who are constantly learning and evolving, right? So when you evolve yourself to the next level, your offers must evolve with you, but also your pricing and your clients must evolve with you. If you have moved on 20 steps ahead and had huge quantum leap in personal development and understanding, and you're now this embodiment of the work that you meant to bring to the world, but you're still working with the people from 2 years ago or 5 years ago, and you're still selling the type of thing that was selling back then because you know how to sell it, that doesn't feel right internally. And you know what I'm talking about. Like, put a 2 in the comments if that's something that you know what that feels like. It's this kind of a crunchy feeling inside that, like, okay, I know I meant for bigger things. I know I kind of like want to be further than where I am now. And I'm not sure, why am I still here? And in order to get there, it's not just raise your price. It's not just find some high ticket clients. It's actually up-leveling who you are to that place, and then looking from that perspective as to what is the most aligned pricing. Pricing is not something that you randomly pick. You can tune in internally and sense whatever it is that you're charging now. And what I usually do with my clients, I say, okay, now put that aside and then tune into, if you could charge whatever you wanted to, if it was allowed, if you were guaranteed to have some people who love it and want to purchase it from you, what would that experience be for them? And then what would be the price that you would want that program, that offer to have? And notice how that number is different than the one you have. So when you do that in the way I just described, the number drops in. As in universe, your life, your soul gives you the number instead of you mentally coming up with it. So when we're just starting the business, at some point, yes, you have to sort of mentally come up with the pricing based on what you know is sellable. But once you're already a business that's been in business for a while, you're seeing paying clients, you're getting great results, and you know that you're awesome at what you do. Like, you totally internally get it, like, okay, I'm meant for bigger than this. And I deliver so much more than whatever it is that I'm, saying that I'm going to, let's say, deliver. That means there is something in you that's already grown beyond whatever it is that the pricing you have right now, or even the type of an offer or package you're selling. Those are the clues that we want to listen to. This is why it's so important, because when we ignore those, we end up going on a detour. It's sort of like taking a class in school the second time, or the third time, or the fourth time, and never graduating. You wouldn't want to do that, right? Like, I'm sure everybody who's listening to this are kind of naturally overachievers. We all have ambition. We all want something more. So it would be kind of weird to go through the same thing over and over and over again. You want to graduate and move on. Well, the same thing applies to business. When you have your offer that you love, the pricing changes as you grow, because your expertise grows, because your confidence grows, because how quickly you can create the opportunity or opening or transformation catalyst for your client also changes. And because of all those changes, so should the price. So for the ones of you who don't know me, I'm Eugenia Oganova. I am a business strategist and messaging energetics coach. What that means is I help you save years of pressure and forcing yourself into rigid strategies that don't actually work, and instead just kind of make you feel trapped. And instead align what you're doing, your pricing, your messaging, everything in your business to your soul design, to how you're meant to do it. That way you get to only do things that actually work for you and stop doing all the things that you think you should be doing that only keep you busy, and feel good, feel supported, feel empowered in your business because there's space there for yourself. So when we're talking today about raising your fees and attracting higher ticket clients, we're not talking about just slapping a 0 on the same program you have and calling it a high ticket program. That's out of integrity. Higher pricing and premium level clients is not just people who can pay more. So we're talking about actually upgrading who you are. That's the best way to raise your fee and have people who will want to come and get that purchased from you. The only way that that's going to happen with ease is if you fully own your pricing, because that pricing is matching your embodiment of whatever it is you're bringing through. So a lot of times what I see is a split. Somebody goes into like, okay, I should charge more. My coach is charging more, or I see other coaches charge more, or I just know that this is too low, it should be higher. And then they randomly come up with a number. But the internal wealth container, that's that inner feeling space when you kind of feel like, yeah, this is good number for me. I own it, totally worth it. No problem. I can say it and just know that that's how much it is. When that wealth container has not grown with the idea that you have of the number that you thought that somebody else is charging and you should be charging, what you have is an energetic discrepancy. Now you're putting out, let's say, I'm selling this program, like maybe you were selling it for 3,000. Now I'm selling it for 5. That's it, 5,000. And then nobody's buying. And it's not because the program is bad. A lot of times it's literally because what was the reason for the price upgrade? Was it because you were in competition with somebody? Was it because you just didn't want to be left behind? Was it because you thought you should, like some conditioning here? All those pieces are actually in the way of you then attracting the high ticket client who would want to purchase that. So the alignment on the inside, it's first work with, do I own internally or claim or embody, whatever term you like, the pricing that I'm putting out. So if, let's say, it was 3,000 for your offer and now it's 5,000 and you feel a little bit wobbly about the 5,000, but you know that it's worth it, great, do some work internally. Look for, why am I not owning it? What is it within me that's not quite there 100% with the number of 5,000, let's say? So that internally you want to be 100% sold on that pricing. Because if you're not sold on it, nobody else is going to buy it. So being able to be sold on your pricing looks like you actually feeling confident that you can back it up. What I mean by that is that you have the skill, the confidence, the energy alignment, whatever it is that's applicable to your business to bring it forward. That yeah, that's what it is. And that number doesn't really matter what that number is. I've seen people who went from charging, 10,000 to charging 50,000, and they upgraded their program, they upgraded who they are, and that level of confidence totally sold that program. I've seen people charge 100,000, 300,000 for their offers. And in integrity, we're not talking about just adding zeros because you want to get rich. That's not the people I work with. But I'm talking about actual consciousness. When you internally feel like, okay, I can see myself being at that next level. Okay? I can see myself experiencing this. So what I would like you to understand is the way to attract those high ticket clients who could purchase those offers that you just raised your fee. There are a few components here. And can you guess what the solution is? Like, put in the comments, what do you think the answer is to make that happen in integrity? And it's not about the best strategy. And it's not about the more moving parts in your offer. And it's not about being famous on Instagram or Facebook and having glamour pictures and because of it people buy high ticket. None of that. So the answer here is that if you internally decided that this is my life, you sort of upgraded who you are. You can think of it like you appointed yourself the queen of the universe. Like you appointed yourself to be in position where you are already known and seen and all that. That's one thing. Number two thing is that whatever it is you're selling is based on your true soul expertise. That you're selling it from the place of service. Not from the scarcity thing of, I need to get more money. I need to, make certain amount of money this month. That is frantic, grasping energy, and it's scarcity. And we can only create abundance from abundance. So you need to be in abundance. And to be in abundance, you internally need to actually feel this thing of like, okay, I get this. This is who I am. This is what I'm bringing. This is my service. Not just like this is like literally the thing I do for my clients, but this is the service at the higher level. Like this is how I really, like this is why I was put on this earth. This is what I'm doing. In other words, I know it might sound like, wow, you're making it look really big and all I do is, I don't know, just help people lose weight or help people find a relationship or something, or help people like have a better relationship with themselves. Yeah, but this is like the smaller thing you do. But look at the impact that has on their life. Can you own that? Can you own the effect of what you're doing in their life? What if you look at it long term? How, like, just look at your clients, right? Like whatever it is that you help them with and whatever amazing transformation they had. Look at how that affected their life in many areas. It probably affected their business. It probably affected their health. It probably affected their well-being. It probably affected their relationships, their marriage, their career, their spirituality, all of that. Even if you were not focusing on that, maybe you were just focusing on one area. So owning that fully, that's a number 2. Okay, so number 1 is appointing yourself the queen of the universe. Like you have to claim that that's what your journey is. Number 2 is whatever you are putting out behind the price, to own the price that you just raised. You have to really feel that you can back it up. You have to feel that this is my service here on earth. And number 3 has to do with who you are selling it to. If you are clearly articulating the value of your intangible work in a way that the premium level client, who is a committed person, who is somebody who's ready to go dive in deep and wants to go on a journey with you, and whose life is not a mess, so they can afford to work with somebody like you at that level. If you want to attract those kinds of clients, then you need to clearly articulate the value of your message, clearly articulate what is it that you're doing, what is the benefit for them, and speak in the place that the type of energy, the type of information, the type of support that those premium level clients are looking for. One of the biggest mistakes I see is that a lot of coaches out there are speaking to lower level client. They're constantly talking about the pain points. They're constantly talking about the problem. They're talking about people who are in trauma. And if you're speaking to that, you are going to attract people of that type. Those people will not be premium level clients. So they will have difficulty purchasing from you at the level where you just raise your rates. Also, I see a lot, another mistake is that when somebody presents what they do in a form of convincing the audience or in a form of trying to prove a point. So notice if you ever do that in your posts and your videos, when you're speaking to non-believers, when you're speaking to somebody that you almost like trying to make them believe the thing that you're selling, when you're speaking to somebody that you're almost like feeling like you have to prove yourself all the time, that might not be the type of audience you want. Because if you're speaking to the people that you're trying to prove what you're doing to, you're going to attract people who will have a lot of objections, who probably will not be able to afford you, who probably would be very needy type of clients. So if that's not the clients you want, and instead you want high-ticket clients who are awesome soulmate clients, you need to know how to clearly articulate the value of your work and do so in a way that works and is heard by those types of people. Premium level clients think very differently. So anybody who buys high-ticket programs, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, people who are in the market for purchasing things of that level, they don't think in pain points. They don't think of like, oh, I have a problem and I solve my problem. That is a low level marketing. Higher ticket clients think very differently. So if you want to attract those kinds of clients, you need to speak to them in a different way. This is actually what I do with my clients is I teach them how to embody the thing that they're doing. So their soul expertise comes forward. They can actually decide to appoint themselves the whatever identity and authority that's sovereign and that is of the level that they want to create their business from. And that they are able to fully back up with their confidence and embodiment with their wealth container being the size that is needed for the type of price that they're putting on their offer, and that they are learning how to speak correctly so that they are saying the words that their ideal client will respond to. The whole point of marketing is to compel somebody to reach out and find out more about you. It's not to convince them, it's not to prove something, it's not to just share your thoughts online, and it's definitely not about getting somebody to, I don't know, do something out of guilt or shame or whatever. That is not the point of marketing. Simply the point of marketing in a higher sense, in an aligned way, is to compel somebody to want to reach out to you because you're so interesting, because you are talking about something that they relate to, because they can feel you, because there's an energy resonance. That's the type of marketing that you want. And that's the type of marketing that allows you to raise your rates and to attract premium level clients who, no problem, want to purchase that and actually feel good for you to work with, because they're not needy, they're not draining. They actually need less and they get much better results as well. So this is what I wanted you to know, that if you are the type of a person that knows, okay, I'm meant for bigger things. Like I know that this thing I'm doing right now, this is like step 1 or 2, and I'm seeing paying clients, I'm getting paid for my offers, but I know I need to raise my fees. I know that charging 1,000 or 3,000 or whatever, that's like, I've outgrown that. I want to now be charging 5 or more, maybe 10. Maybe 12, whatever it is that you know that you're meant for that, but you just don't know how to get there. And if you have current clients that are at the level that's kind of lower, the type of a person that you want to work with, and you're just not sure how to even talk to the ones you want, then I definitely invite you to apply to work with me. This is literally what I do. So I have a free Facebook group. So this is Energetics for high ticket clients. You can find that by clicking on my name, and definitely come in. I do a lot of trainings there. And I also have a webinar that explains to you about this whole premium level coaching model, how to do this in integrity without millions of moving parts, but how to simplify your business so that you can scale to 6 figures and then past 6 figures, but do it your way. So the link for that webinar is soulstrategywebinar.com. So you can just type that in, soulstrategywebinar.com, and you will be able to learn more about how this works. Because I know for you, this is something you envision, that means it's meant to be. See, when we can envision something, that means it's actually a possibility. That means your soul is calling you to go to that next level. It's calling you to step in and truly do your soul work in a world. But you also want to be well resourced for doing that work, right? You want to be paid well for doing your soul work. You don't just want to burn out working many hours with kind of crunchy clients and then spend all your time at frantic marketing activities, and feeling like you're just spinning your wheels. That is no life. Entrepreneurship is difficult anyway, right? Because it's not a paycheck, it's not guaranteed. You have to kind of do your own dance. So if you're choosing to do that, you might as well do it your way. Do it in a way that you love. Do it in a way that you enjoy it instead of creating yet another hardship, right? So if you're already at the place where you're seeing paying clients, when you are getting great results, when you are loving what you're doing, but you know you want the next level, you just really don't know how to bridge it, then reach out to me. You can just DM me and we'll connect and talk about it and see if you qualify for some of my programs where I literally teach that. Like I help people who are conscious, who are already experts, who are already having a business that works, to up-level their business to a whole new level that is in alignment with who they are, so that they can create sustainable structures in their business. So all this creative and lovely and amazing energy has something to land into, right? It's like if you don't have the container to land it in, then it comes in and right out. So if you're having that situation where you're like, okay, my structures are sort of, I don't have any strategy, I don't have any plan, I just fell into it and I've been doing it and it seems to be working, we should talk. Because this is what I literally can help you do, is to come up with a strategy or a sequence or structure, whatever you want to call it, that works for you. Not something that, some rigid thing out there that somebody else decided, but something that is matching you, that actually can help you scale. So check out the soulstrategywebinar.com. And if you want to connect with me personally, DM me and we'll see what we can do for you. All right. My love to you, and I hope to see you soon.